Hello everyone. Now you're gonna learn how to compute the center of a dataset. We have three kind of measures of center. The first one is called the mean or the average. It's the one you know for ages. Uh, Actually, it's the one you use when you want to compute your average grade in mathematics or in French or whatever. You take all your grades, so I don't know, 4.5 plus 5 plus 4 plus 5.5. So you add all your grades and then you divide by the total number of grades you have. You know it. This is the mathematical definition. It's the mean, it's the average. For example, if you have different values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, but each of them appears a different number of times. For example, the value 1 appears 5 times. You have 9 times the value 2, 15 times the value 3. So to compute the mean or the average, you should do 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 5 plus 1, so 5 times, plus 2 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 plus 2, but it's quite long. What we can do is to say, okay, I do have 5 times the value 1, so I compute 5 times 1, 5 times 1, then plus 9 times 2, because I have 9 times the value 2, 9 times 2, sorry, 15 times 3, I have 10 times the value 4, so 10 times 4, and so on, 6 times 5, 3 times 6, 0 times 7, so it's useless because I don't have any 7 actually, and 2 times 8, then I add everything, and I divide not by 8, I divide by the total number of value that I have. I have 5 times 1 plus 9 times 2, so I already have 14 values, plus 15, plus 10, plus 6, plus 3, plus 0, plus 12. So in the end I have 50 values. So I add all the values and I divide by 50. So the mean is 3.44 here in this example. If we have a continuous variable with an interval, it's difficult because I cannot add an interval with another one. What does it mean? From 0 to 10 plus from 10 to 15. It doesn't make any sense. That's why we consider the central values. You remember we consider that we have a perfect uniform distribution, so we can always just say, okay, for my computation, I take into consideration the value in the middle. So between 0 and 10, the value is 5. Between 10 and 15, the value is 12.5. The way to compute it, it's doing this. These numbers of 15 plus the second one, 20, divided by 2. You have it here. So you can compute all the central values, and with them, you compute the mean. You have 48 times the value 5, so you do 48 times 5, plus 62 times the value 12.5, so plus 62 times 12.5, plus 107 times 17.5, and so on and so on, and everything divided by 500 because you have 500 values, and in total you have your answer 21 here. The second type of measure is the mode. The mode is a very simple concept. It's actually the value which occurs with the greatest frequency. So, in other words, the value which appears the most. Example, I have 3, 5, 7, 7, 7, 9, 9. The one which appears the most is 7 because it appears 3 times. So, the mode is 7. That's it. Sometimes you can have more than one mode. Example here, 3, 5, 7, 7, 7, 9, 9, 9. The value 9 appears 3 times, the value 7 also, so you have 2 modes, 7 and 9. Another example with the table, So the value 1 appears 5 times, the value 2 9 times, 3 15 times, and so on. So here, let's see which value appears the most. It's actually 3 because it appears 15 times. So the answer is 3. The mode is 3. When we have a continuous variable, it's possible in mathematics to compute with precision the exact mode. But here, we're going to just determine the model class, so the class in which the mode belongs. To do so, we have to make sure every class has the same width, the same length, because imagine if you have a class way larger than the others, it's not really fair, because it's more likely that the frequency will be the greatest one if the class is very wide, of course. Then once we did this, we can identify the class with the greatest frequency. It's possible that the model class is non-unique, so it's totally possible that you have two model classes. Here we can see the length is 5, here so, here yes, but the first one has 10, its length is 10. So what we can do, we can split it into two subclasses. The first one from 0 to 5, and the second one from 5 to 10. Like this, we have the same length as the other ones, and also we have to say, okay, if I split it into two subclasses, and in total I have 48, so it means the first one will have a frequency of 24 and the second one also. We can do the same for 30 to 40. We split it into two subclasses, so the first one will be from 30 to 35, the second one from 35 to 40, and then we know the frequency will be 2 times 33. So having done that, we can have a look and say, okay, the one with the highest frequency is this one. So the class 2025, because it has a frequency of 133 values.